Salutations, everyone. Welcome to
QkJj. I'm Queen Jam.
And I'm King Jerry. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to jump right into today's topic. Excuse me.
he didn't know what today's topic was, for real. Okay, so we just wanted to do a quick video about pros and cons of being a contractor. And here we go.
Pros and cons with being an independent contractor. Let's see. Number one, I think all of us that have been independent contractors, I want to learn more. Just be aware, I've had a feeling, or I've been through a process where I feel like I can be replaced at any time. That's one of the hardships in a way, or one of the things to note about being an independent contractor, aside of being an employee, W-2 employee.
Yeah, I feel like that's also any job too. You're just a removable name tag. Your name isn't on the building for a reason, okay?
That's a fair point. Very fair point. With that being said, with the contract ending at any moment, that can be on both sides of the playground. What we mean by contract ending at any moment, a company that you work for could end up in a situation where they need to renew a contract, and you may or may not be a part of that contract as well.
Exactly, or your contract may be only for 6 or 9 months, but within that contract, they still tell you it could end at any moment without notice. Exactly. So that's not really dependable if you have a family to support and some type of equity that you're trying to build and leave behind. Exactly.
So it's best to make that as a special note when it comes to wanting to be in that field or be in the realm of an independent contractor. Contracts can end at any moment.
Yes. Another big one is filing your taxes at either the end of the year or quarterly.
Yes.
Most people recommend doing estimated quarterly taxes, okay? You're supposed to be saving a good portion of your check. Most people will say about 10 to even 30% of your check each paycheck, just so that you know if anything happens towards the end of the year, you are covered. You have some money set off to the side. When you do file taxes, you will learn that there's a lot of perks, I would kind of say, that goes along with being a W-2 employee. You, as a contractor, will have to pay your own self-employment tax, which is half of that is usually covered by your employer. So that's a side perk as well. And another thing is that your employer already would take out your taxes, so you would just do the W-2 filing. You wouldn't even have to worry about calculating or saving a portion of your check at the end of the year, because it would have already been taken out and you'd be getting a refund. Boom. That segues into the next one. No insurance and no benefits.
Now, in some situations, depending on how your contract is set up, you can work a way for insurance. You definitely can work a way for benefits. But again, that is working a contract. That can go from, okay, I give you this, but you're only here for so long. Or you can be here for so long, but you won't get this. That's a part of the independent contract business that you row yourself into. And just keep that, just keep that in mind. Hey, think about your health, because obviously you can't make any money if your health isn't on track. So use that as a go-to. All right?
Yes, insurance is very important for some, and benefits are very important because to segue into benefits as well, you may have, as an employee, be able to have access to an employer who will pay or match your 401k contributions, which is very important. Someone saying, okay, you put $20 in, I'm going to put another $20 in, that's $40 put away for your 401k. But if you don't have that additional money coming in from your employer or that perk, then you're doing it all on your own.
Exactly. And keep in mind, when you are thinking about that, you're dependent upon self. So it's really going to take a lot of self-discipline to go through that process of being an independent contractor. If you can do it with someone else, it may benefit you. If you feel as though that you want to do it yourself, hey, go at it. No one's going to stop you except for you. But that's the basis, is you will have to depend upon self. If you want to be an independent, exactly what it says there, an independent contractor, you have to make sure that you are playing it the way that you would like to play it.
Yes.
It's a business venture, it's a business function, and you do have to be professional in every aspect.
Yes, the retirement is pretty much up to you at this point. That's completely up to you. You don't have an employee helping you.
Exactly. So an employer,
thank you.
Won't be there. You may have relationships with individuals that are underneath of this one employer, but keep in mind, since you are independent contract, whatever happens to you happens to you.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. We've experienced it recently with one of the jobs we were working for, just sitting back and watching the news board that we all come to address it with different things that are going on in our lives. People will talk about the things that they have going on in their life, and you're just sitting there like, wow, like no one's going to help them.
Right.
If you need, say, additional hours or anything like that, no one's going to say, oh, okay, come on over, you can take this additional weekend or anything like that. Those hours aren't available. It's okay, it's not that employer's problem. It's not, they really don't care, unfortunately.
You have some employers that may not care, and they only look at it off of a numbers game, because some individuals will say that's what business is, it's about numbers. Okay, cool. If you want to look at business that way, that's fine. But also you have to keep in mind the attitude and the morale for the employees that are working for you. If their morale is shot, if you treat them like they're just that, a number, then you will, as a business owner, will reap what you sow. It's very unfortunate when you have a lot of great people. You have a lot of good people.
I'm glad you said that.
That are willing, and they will direct their time for a company so that they can get something out of it. And I mean, we're not gonna sit here and be around the bush. There are some people out there that live from paycheck to paycheck. There are people that literally depend on a paycheck to get them through. So when you're in that element of an independent contractor, keep that in mind. You have to be aware of a game plan outside of what you're doing now.
Yes, definitely have multiple streams of income coming in, but I don't want to get too far away from what you talked about with the employees, because that segues into being a contractor, sometimes independent contractor. You may notice, you may feel as though you're being treated completely different from the W-2 employees.
Right.
Because, or I could just say employees in general, because you're a contractor, you're not an employee.
Right.
So you feel like there is totally a different camaraderie, a different conversation, if you will, with you being a contractor versus a standard employee.
Right.
Employees already get the different perks and everything.
Right.
Contractor, no.
You're looking from a distance.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that's nice. How you getting that?
And all the
employees.
They like this.
They like, yeah, we got this. Going on like trips and stuff, and meeting up with the head honcho and going out to lunch and stuff. They're not going to come over to me, a little old contractor, and say, hey, contractor, that's replaceable at any time. Come on, let's get to know ya.
This is not for every business, but there are highlights that majority of businesses are like this. And again, it's a part of the game that you do, and while we will segue this right back, at the end of it, you're being strategic about your future. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go through this process, you don't want to per se work for someone else, but still be independent. Mm-hmm. You work up a contract so that you can devise a plan for your future, i.e., your retirement. Okay, or your idea of a retirement. Just be aware of your independent finances. Mm-hmm. Be aware of your ability and what you can do and what you're putting out. You may not feel the benefits automatically, but when you put in the hard work and you put in just the dedication itself, man, you'll definitely see it. When we're talking about retirement, put your work in. Go ahead and put your money to the side. Do what you need to do. Make sure you pay your taxes. So no one comes looking for you. It happens to people. Get behind on their taxes. It's a lot. Life hits you. But
enough of the cons. We're going to segue to a few pros. Yes. There's a lot of different pros, but we'll just talk about our top 3. Mm. One of my top 3 in being an independent contractor is just being your own boss. You can tell your employer pretty much what you are doing and what you're not doing. That's not in my contract. Mm-hmm. You know, an employee, you kind of want to be there for a long haul or assume that you're in there for a long haul sometimes. But sometimes you just get to speak up more as a contractor. Exactly. What's one of your top?
Going back to the financial portion, you would be surprised how much more you learn when you go through the process of filing your own taxes. Mm-hmm. Your financial literacy will definitely improve. So if nothing,
that's a good one.
Nothing wrong with you wanting to start out, or if you're in the process and you're working for someone else, and if that business is treating you right, stick with them. Obviously they're doing the right thing. But as an independent contractor, understanding your finances and being financially literate is key to your development. Mm-hmm. What's your second
one? Second one would probably be I'm only saying this because this is one of the things that I hold dear. Just being able to be virtual at a point. Okay. Because being virtual, work-life balance is very important to me. Not all employers that I've met are willing to do virtual. I have seen a lot more contractor positions for virtual.
And being virtual, working from home, not the standard brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Still being able to build relationships. The funny part about being an independent contractor is those that have been a part of the company for a while, they can tell talent when they see it, and you get to hear and see a lot of real realities and actions that individuals are going through that are working with the company. But keep in mind, your contract is your contract. So if something happens to you, even though you may have good relationships, which is key, you may have good relationships with someone else, but they may not be in a position to gear things towards your particular situation. Oh, thank you.
How you go? Where's my fan? Anyway, my third will probably be the current contract I'm on now. I get to pick my own hours. So if I don't want to work past 2, I ain't working past 2.
There you go.
Boom. Okay? Mm-hmm. If I do want to, I'll work past 2. But other than that, pick my own hours. I can decide when I go in. I can decide how long of a break I want to have in between, or if I want to, you know, stop, go work out, or go, you know, do something around the house that I have to do, come right back, I have that choice. Yeah. As an employee going into the traditional brick and mortar sometimes, or majority of the time, you can't go home on your lunch break. A lot of people commute over an hour to work. That's the reality for good majority of where we live.
Yeah.
DMV area, okay? You'll see nothing but Virginia tags in DC, and in DC you see nothing but
Virginia, Maryland tags.
Yeah.
And then in Maryland you end up seeing, my God, tags from Pennsylvania. You'll see tags from Virginia, DC. I mean, it really is. Sometimes even West Virginia tags. You know.
Exactly.
So it really does. It really does give you a different reality look at. Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
What's your last one?
Last one. I don't know. I think you honestly hit everything. I think we honestly hit all. There's just the main focus. I would probably give the last thing is just understanding, you know, your contract when you go into anything. Keep in mind you also gained experience through that. So each contract that you move into, recognize your experience.
Yes.
Sometimes you get lost with an employer as well. You may get stuck in the same space. You have employers that will have you mopping the floors first, then you cutting up the lettuce, move you to the fries, and then you work a couple, you know, years later. You know, that's when the big bucks start rolling in when it comes to management.
You just couldn't resist.
I couldn't resist. I love coming to America. All right, I love it. I do. But I'm serious. When you have that opportunity to become an independent contractor, don't let anyone tell you that you haven't gone through the process of experience. Definitely during my time, I've went through what everyone else went through, picked up the experience what everyone else went through.
Yes.
But when your contract is up, that's your contract, but no one can ever take your experience away.
Yes, that was like the biggest positive being a contractor, and we've been a contractor for a while now.
Yeah, for a few years, more than.
Yes, we have acquired so many different skills, so many different, just vast sets of knowledge and different inventory on different things, inner workings of different systems, and it's amazing to really be behind the scenes. I'm more of a behind the scenes vulture that I want to see what's projected on the screen or what the audience gets to see. It's something completely different.
Yeah.
It's definitely something completely different.
If no one else want to tell you, I will. Another key alert for you is knowledge is definitely power. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. You know, when we get pushed out into the workforce, that's the first thing people ask for anyway. What's your experience like? How much experience do you have? We've all gone through before. We've all heard it before. How much experience do you have? So being able to have that room to grow and really improve and enrich yourself, you find that you pick up some serious skill sets.
It would be nice if we should do a video covering our resume, because you wouldn't believe. You'd be like, when did y'all have time to work there?
I know the one that's gonna get people here. Exactly. I know the one that's gonna get people.
Exactly. So we should definitely do a video. If you want us to make a video summarizing our resume, and then going into detail about each job, we'll definitely do that. Comment down below, okay? And just let us know, like this video, so we also know that we'll do that as well.
Like it, and comment, share it.
Exactly. Just let us know your experiences. Let us know how it worked for you if you're currently a contractor, or you're currently thinking about being a contractor if you're currently an employee. You know, just communicate with us. We love interacting with y'all.
Exactly. I almost forgot. Subscribe, please. I said please and thank you.
They know that.
Thank you. But have fun, whatever your walk of life is. if you are an independent contractor, if you're not, if you're working for someone else, just have fun, engage others, learn from others, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed. You won't.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all next time.
QKJJ, out.